Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Success UnScripted, the podcast for ordinary people aiming to achieve extraordinary goals. I am your host, Miriam Hogans, and y'all, this is episode 6. Can we just take a minute and just pause and just soak it all in? Yes, we made it to episode 6. Thank y'all so much for being faithful listeners thus far. It is truly an honor. Yes, I have not released a podcast since last Tuesday, and please forgive me. I have been in the books, y'all. I had a huge exam this past week, and I gave all of my attention and energy to that. That took priority, but I am back, and I have great content for y'all today. So please stay tuned. Share this with somebody. If you find that it's helping you, yes, please take the time out, pass it on, pass the information on. And if not, if you don't receive anything today, that's fine. Take what you can get and leave everything that does not apply to you. But yes, please stay tuned, and I hope you guys have had a fantastic day. And if not, as always, you can start right now. All right, y'all. So I tend to find my happy place when I am creating. Like literally, I can stay awake for hours when I am in my creative space. And I have produced some of my best projects during the wee hours of the night. And I tend to have a hard time coming out of it. So I usually have to tell myself to go to bed, because if not, I'll be awake until the break of dawn. Like, no lie. It's hard for me to come out of it. So it is something about the end results that I achieve after toiling for hours on hours on hours. That's extremely breathtaking, right? So it's like, God, from the thought in my mind, the idea, to the brainstorming on paper, to executing on my computer within the software, to the finished product. Like, it is so astonishing. The stages of building a product. It's so amazing. And how it all starts. It's so amazing to me. It's breathtaking. And most of the time, I am more amazed at how the thought even came to fruition. Like, where in the world did this come from? Like, some of the things that come to my mind, like good things though, right? I'm just like, golly, God, you're so amazing. Like, you put these thoughts into my head. Like, this, it's amazing how God gives us the ability to create. And it's always obvious, like, these thoughts didn't come from me, right? Surely not from my own might. And many of you out there have the ability to pull greatness out of you by simply creating. But I know that it can be hard to simply do, because sometimes we don't know where to begin, and that is okay, right? It's okay. It actually took me a while to start tapping into my creativity. And that's the truth. But once I got over the fear of what people were thinking, right? Once I got past the fear of what if people don't like me? What if the people don't like me phase? Like, once I got past that phase, I was good. Like, I just stopped caring, because it just didn't matter anymore. And let me tell you what I have learned overall on this creative journey. Y'all ready for this? It takes so much courage to put yourself out there, because the internet and people in general can be so brutal. Gosh, sometimes I'm on the internet, on social media, and I'm looking at, different pieces of art, and I like to look at different coffee videos and how people create drinks and craft drinks. And people are always in the comments like, oh, that's not how you do it. You doing it wrong. Like, y'all chill. Golly, is it that serious? Like, let people be. It is not that serious. Everybody's creative process is different. All right. People are so brutal, but it's all good. It's all good. And notice I said it takes courage. Courage is when you are afraid, but you push through it anyways. That's courage. Yes, I am fearful. Like, you may be like, I don't know about this. But the fact that you're still putting it out there, that takes courage because people are brutal. Okay. But that's all right. That is okay. But let's get into it. All right. Let's get into it. So, what happens when you create? What happens when you create? When you create opportunities for yourself. I had a bad habit of always saying, man, I have great work. Like, look at this. Sometimes sometimes I tend to look at my products and I'm like, God, this is great. But I just need the right person to hear me or see me. And I just need the right opportunity so I can make it. How many of y'all say that? I have great work. I just need the right person to hear me. I just need the right person to see me. I just need the right opportunity. I need somebody to give me their platform. And my intuition within said, you are the right person. You are the right opportunity, Miriam. Create your own platform. Put your own self out there. That's when it clicked. I was like, oh, whoa, okay. Then I no longer had the right to feel sorry for myself. I no longer had the right to say, oh, I just need the right person to hear me or see me and give me the opportunity. No, because I am the right person. I am the right opportunity. You are the right person. You are the right opportunity. And that's when I started producing these podcast episodes. And that's when I started putting my freestyles out there, not raps, but like, I play the piano. I started putting my music out there. Whatever came to my mind, I'm like, I want to share this with the world, right? I got tired of waiting for the right opportunity. I got tired of waiting for the right person when the right person was in the house. Like it was me. And my platform isn't big right now, not yet. But I had to start somewhere, right? Because no one will find you waiting. I want y'all to hear me. Nobody will find you waiting. Nobody's going to just come knock on your door and say, hey, Miriam, I want you to come speak on my stage. Miriam, I want you to come speak to this group of young people. Nobody's going to come knock on my door and do that if I don't have anything out there. What do I have out there for people to see? Where's the proof, right? A lot of us want to be a wonder. We all want to be acknowledged. We all want to be stars, but where's your proof? Where is it? Where's your works? And I just got so tired of waiting. And I hear a lot of that within like the Christian community, not just, now, but like back when I was growing up in church. Oh, I have faith. I got faith. God is going to do. God is this. God is going to help me. Yeah, but God waiting on you. He's waiting on you to take the first step, right? Nobody's going to come knocking at your door. You sitting in your apartment, in your house, in the living room, feeling sorry for yourself because nobody's calling on you, right? And that's when it clicked in my head. Create your own platform. Move on. Create your own platform because no one will find you waiting. Okay? The right opportunity may never come, so the time is now. It's amazing. Wow. So I have a question for y'all. Do you really think that you were placed on this earth to hold back on what God has given you? Do you really think that you was placed here on this earth to just be, to just exist? to not give yourself to others, to not give what you have in you to other people to experience, right? Do you really think that you're placed on this earth for that? No. The work that you have in you, the work that you create, may be an encouragement for others. You never know, y'all. You never know what type of impact you may have if you never put yourself out there. So when you do put yourself out there, and once you start creating, you will no longer have the right to say, I wish or I should have, because you'll be actually acting or doing, right? You'll be actually creating. It'll never leave you to wonder, what if? So like now I never have that thought in my head, like, oh, what if I would have started? What if somebody, I don't have that right anymore because I'm actually doing, okay? Yes, that is one of the main reasons why I even started this podcast. It was to build my platform and give you guys material that I have been sitting on for years. And also once I, build this platform up, I can invite other people that didn't have a chance, right? But I'm not about to just find you waiting. You need to be already doing, right? So that's why I built this platform. I want to share information with people, with the world that I have been sitting on for years. Things that I just have written in my journal. I'm like, God, this is some good information. To me, it was great information. I just wanted to share it, and I felt that it was time to share. So I said to myself, somebody's going to listen, right? I don't care if it's just close family or friends. Like, I no longer wanted to wait for the opportunity, hoping that someone would discover me, right? So how in the world do you expect to be discovered if there is no material out there with your name on it? How do you expect people to find you? No one will market or brand you like you. So y'all don't wait. You were created to create. We are all a bunch of little mini creations out here creating, okay? Because we have that ability within us, all right? We have that ability within us. So I again say, if you desire to be found, creating, I believe, will increase your chance of being exposed to the right person. So the tools are in your hand, okay? The answer is already in your hand. You are the answer. Stop looking for it in other people and other things. You have something stored in you that someone else needs. Somebody needs what you have. They need what you have. And I can attest to this. I'm going to give y'all a little example. I can attest to this. So the majority of my favorite singers and musicians aren't mainstream. They're not popular as the mainstream. They're not as popular as the mainstream folks. So you never know, right, who you'll be impacting. So a lot of these underdogs have greatly impacted my life, like their worship and how they live and their music, their flow. It has impacted my life, and I'm able to give that back to my church when we're leading worship on Sundays and Wednesdays, right? And so a lot of these people aren't mainstream, but they impact me so greatly, right? And I think it is so amazing. This is my favorite part about it. I think it is so amazing to see the not so mainstream folks or the underdogs become discovered. Sometimes I get agitated because I'm like, no, hey, I found them first. Because sometimes people change when they become mainstream, but I'm like, no, I found them first. But it's super cool to be able to say, man, I remember when I was listening to this person when they only had about 10,000 subscribers, and then like, boom, they blew up, which did not happen overnight. Okay. It didn't happen overnight. They remain consistent. Now, granted, there are people that go viral, right? But how do you think they got there? They put themselves out there. So a lot of people that are close to me know that my favorite worship singer is Sunmi Sola Egg Baby. And she's not like a mainstream artist. She got out, she became well known and popular by a video that went viral with her and another guy, which is now her husband. And she got famous by singing somebody else's song, y'all. But because of her voice and her talent and her worship, like this girl, I found her. She had like 100,000 subscribers, right? This was last December when I discovered her. She had like 100 and something thousand subscribers. This girl got over, last time I saw her social media profile, she had like over 400,000 subscribers. Like that was fast. And that it's not even a year yet. But because she kept putting herself out there, like if you go back to her profile, like she was always posting videos, always on YouTube, always on Instagram, singing, right? And just like, boom, she blew up, and it didn't happen overnight. It was a process. So you have to remain consistent. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, just to give you a little example as to how you can go from being the underdog to the top dog. But to my next point, I want to share this with y'all. I remember, I think it was last year, I was nominated for a TEDx talk. It's a TED talk, but it was a TEDx version. A TEDx talk by my university professor. I was nominated by my university professor, one of my old professors. And so I was nominated because a lot of the university students would enjoy my presentations when I would be invited back each semester to go and speak. And so when I found out I was nominated, she was like, "Hey, Miriam, here's the application. This is what you need to do. Let me know if you need any help." So I practiced. I wrote out, my script, and they said it didn't have to be perfect, but I perfected it anyways because I know how those things go. So I practiced and rehearsed and practiced in front of the camera. I practiced in front of my pastor, in front of my first lady, until I was blue in the face. Like I just kept practicing, right? But I was not chosen for the final round. They didn't pick me. I was like, man, now this was some good material. Like it was good. I felt that it was really good. Just probably not good enough. But when this happened, I became frustrated because it has always been a dream of mine to speak, to pursue public speaking. I just knew I just enjoyed talking in front of people, sharing my ideas, my concepts. And it all started back when I worked as a personal banker. We always had to go into the elementary schools, into the high schools and middle schools and do financial literacy presentations to a whole bunch of kids, right? And go to different classrooms. So I began to love it. I just loved talking, but I wasn't perfect. I wasn't great. I wasn't well-rounded in that area. I knew that I needed to improve. And so over the years, she would invite me to come back, and I began to perfect that gift. For some reason, it's easier for me to speak like at church, and my pastor were to ask me to give a sermon on a certain day. Like I can't make eye contact with the congregation. Like it's just something about that nervousness, right? But when I'm in front of a crowd that don't know me, like I give it my all. Like I push because of that passion within me. But I wasn't chosen, and I was frustrated because that's always been a dream of mine, to give a TED talk, no matter if it's a TEDx talk or actual TED talk. But that is okay, right? I'm over it now. I'm good. But I said to myself, I just need to work on my impact and work on putting myself out there more. And so when the time, is now, when the time comes, I can put on my application, yes, I've spoken before, I've did this, check me out here, because it asks you that on the application. Like, is this your first actual speaking engagement, like on this level? Like I've spoken in elementaries and high schools before, but on this level, no. And so I said, I just need to work on my impact, and I need to work on putting myself out there more. And I said to myself, look, if Ted won't choose me, that's okay. I choose me. I got me. It's good. I'll create my own platform. Don't test me, because I'm one, that is up for a good a good challenge. But I was like, no, if Ted won't choose me, that's all right. Somebody will eventually. right? You just got to remain consistent. So to my next point, I don't want to bore y'all. To my next point, creating allows you to improve your skills. So once you put yourself out there, it allows you to become better at what you do, right? And it holds you accountable, and you will be able to look back and see how much you have improved. Like I went back and listened to my first podcast episode for season 1. And I was laughing and chuckling because I was like, ooh, I said that word wrong. Like, but it's okay. It was my first try. You know, it gets better. It becomes better as you grow and remain consistent and persistent. You'll improve with time, right? And not only that, but you will also have something to compare your future work to. So not only will it allow you to improve, but it'll give you something to compare your future work to instead of comparing it to others, right? So you will have something to compare your work that you're working on now to your old work instead of comparing it to others, which is key, okay? Additionally, if you keep uploading, like I said, remain consistent, keep posting, keep speaking, keep writing, someone will continue to expect your work, right? So my sister, she has a blog called Candor, and she discovered that she has listeners now across the states, and she was excited, rightfully so, because she set up her automation system to where she just types in her blogs and the system sends it out for her. So it's an automated thing. So she utilized that tool on her website. And so now she has listeners across the state because she posts frequently, right? She has a consistent scheduling, and that's important, right? Someone will continue to expect your work. So keep posting, keep uploading, keep speaking, keep writing, okay? So you might be thinking, okay, Miriam, my work of art, my music, my content, my literature, my business, it's no good. It's no bueno. I'm not sure if anyone would like it. I think it's subpar. I think it's amateurish. So what? Put it out there anyways, even when you don't think it's good. So the freestyles that I upload to YouTube and other music platforms aren't the best, but I got past focusing on my best, right? I love the way it makes me feel. I love it. You know, I removed the fear of thinking that someone would talk about my content. I don't care, because it brings me so much joy to see my work out there and to hear from others how much it has blessed them, and to also hear others reach out and ask me, Miriam, when will you put out your next piece of music? Right? Because it affected them, y'all. And one lady said it brought so much peace to her heart, right? When they were at their lowest, and that brought so much joy to my heart. Okay, look, I'm telling y'all, when I'm in my car, y'all have no idea. Like, I tend to cut up when I see my name, Miriam Hogan's, flash across my dashboard. When I'm listening to music on my Spotify, I tend to cheese and smile from ear to ear. I'm like, man, that's me. That's me. That's my name. Right? It's amazing. Not only am I excited because it's me, but I'm also able to identify the areas of improvement. So maybe you're saying, well, I don't know how to put myself out there on different types of platforms. Well, I invite you to go back and listen to episode 1. That's where I talk about research. And research is your best friend. If you really want to know something, if you really want something in life, you'll do what it takes, and you'll find the answer and choose what works best for you. All right. And so to my next point, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. Okay. So if you don't use it, you lose it. Statistics say that creativity tends to decline with age. It tends to decline with age, education, lack of use, and bureaucracy. So it says creativity generally declines in stages, beginning when a person starts school. That's interesting, right? It continues to deteriorate through the teens and continues to decrease through ages 30, 40, and 50. Also, the latent creative potential of an individual can be stifled by perceptual, cultural, emotional, and organizational factors. Creativity can be unlocked and creative ideas and innovations generated by using any type of creative problem solving techniques such as brainstorming, brainwriting, parameter analysis, big dream approach, collective notebook method. That's when you're journaling, right? So if you don't use it, you lose it, y'all. Creativity declines with age. That is crazy. So you have to stay sharp. You have to stay sharp. You got to sit down and know how to tap into your creative space. Start brainstorming if you don't know how to do it, right? Start brainstorming. Just take a pencil and paper. Start with one word and just build. That's what I usually do, right? Moving on. I don't want to keep y'all too long, but also when you are creating, you are leaving a legacy. You're leaving something for your family to look back on once you're gone, right? So leaving a legacy is so important, and giving that to your family is really important, right? All legacies and memories don't have to be monetary, right? So imagine your grandchildren, your children, and other friends and family members going back to your works of art, your works of literature, your music, your poems, remembering you through those works of art in the future. That is so amazing to think about. So creating gives you a legacy. Creating is also therapeutic. Next time you step into nature, pay attention to how it makes you feel. When you immerse yourself into nature, it automatically changes your mood, and it will give you inspiration to create works of art for yourself. That is when I am ease, right? So when I step out into nature, I just feel so overwhelmed with joy. It makes me feel so good, right? And it also helps kickstart that creative process in my mind. So like really quick, back in 2021, I initially discovered the benefits of creating and how it generally like improved my mood when I was stressed out on the job. So one day I was having a real bad day, and it was so bad to the point where I asked my manager, could I just take the rest of the day off? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Cool. And so I was like, God gave me the gift of music, right? He has blessed me with the gift of music, but this is when I really started to become in tune and embrace that gift of music that God has given me. I'm the minister of music at my church and have been for like the past 10 years, right? But I never really tapped into that gift outside of church, meaning I never really practiced and played at home during my free time, just experiment and exploring with just what comes to my mind, right? So one day at work, something happened, transpired, and I couldn't understand it, and it caused me to be extremely anxious. So I pulled out my keyboard and decided to press record. And so while I was freestyling on my piano, I just became overwhelmed with this piece. And y'all, the amount of pressure that lifted off my shoulders was insane. It was phenomenal. And then playing it back and thinking like, wow, that's me. That's Miriam, right? And just seeing my name come across the phone and like, wow, I recorded that. That was a freestyle. I was at my lowest, but it made me so uplifted when I go back and listen to it. So amazing, right? So not only is it therapeutic, but there are other forms of creativity that can affect your mood. So I want y'all to think about this like in life. So for example, really quick, architecture. If you compare buildings to prominent neighborhoods and underserved communities, there are certain designs and modes of buildings that are intentionally built that way, right? So within your city, certain buildings aren't allowed to be built in certain areas of the town, okay? I want y'all to know that. So I was sitting in the city council meeting one time, and the city council members did not approve a certain design of an apartment because they felt that it would not enhance the quality of life for the citizens within that town. And they didn't feel that the design would be befitting for that area. So like if you go to the projects, I can guarantee you, and I'm not trying to be funny or rude or anything like that, I can guarantee you that your mood will not be vibrant, uplifting, or energized. You know why? Because I used to live there. So I know, trust me, nothing good or welcoming came from the projects. Nothing welcoming about it. Because literally every house looked the same. The interior is exactly the same as your neighbors, as well as the exterior. So there was nothing welcoming about it. Sometimes I felt that was intentional. Like the makeup of the projects were intentional, and they were built like that to intentionally to keep people there, if I could say that. Like, how can you expect someone to push past the ugliness of your neighborhood and motivate themselves to have a good day when they step outside? It's just like, oh, golly, this just looks terrible, right? I used to dread it, but God is good. I made it out all right, y'all. But I made it out all right. But here's why I think some people do not pursue and create. In closing, this is why I believe they don't pursue or create. I believe it's because they focus on the wrong thing. They focus on the wrong outcome. What outcome is that? Money, profits. Some people would choose not to pursue their passions because it would not bring them a profit. When I started my apparel business, I only focused on the profit portion of my business, and that was not a good thing. And we all know that starting out at times can be slow, and when profit is your only focus, it will become burdensome and a pain. So that's why I believe some people choose not to create, because it's not bringing them any type of income. But pursue it because it makes you feel human, if I can say that, right? So just remember, you are not placed on this earth to waste and wither away. There is greatness in you. Cultivate the idea. Don't let it die. You know, I'm aware that everyone was not created to be an entrepreneur, and there are people who legitimately want to work for their employer and retire with their company, and that's okay. But for those of you who go to work every day knowing that there is more to your life, go forth and do. If you have been desiring to pursue a hobby, go forth and do it. If you want to create just for fun, to enjoy the therapeutic benefits of it, go forth and do it. Our God, the amazing God, created the heavens and the earth. Surely we have these abilities too, since we were created in his likeness, right? It is in you. You just have to tap into it. All right, y'all, that is it for now. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Take this with you. God bless y'all. I will see y'all next week.